الله ما أشهى لقاك، اقبل صلاتي في بهاك يا أبي، اقبل صلاتي في بهاك يا أبي.
In this era of grave spiritual crisis, it is not enough to simply know about your Catholic faith. That is why we need a Catholic Toolbox to equip us with the practical skills necessary to live our Catholic faith to reach our ultimate goal, which is heaven for all eternity. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the Catholic Toolbox as we hand you the tools to go forth, live the faith, and change our modern world today. Live on the Voice of Charity.
And welcome back to another week on the Catholic Toolbox, the art of practical Catholicism. I'm your host and founder, George Manassa, here as we equip you with practical tools to live your faith in our modern world of today. And this week, as we begin this year, many of you have started resolutions and maybe, like myself, to do more charity, to help others, to help those in need, and to improve that and pick up from last year. And that's why this week I have a good friend of mine in studio, Nass Aoun.
Thank you, George.
Welcome to the show, Nass.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You look very comfortable there.
I do.
Yeah.
It's a nice, good energy.
Yeah.
Everything's relaxed, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward for this interview.
Yeah, and you have air conditioning as well in the
Thank God
studio.
for that. The electricity bills are paid up, which is good.
But it's great to have you, and how we met through some charitable initiatives, it was great. But for those who don't know you, start off by introducing yourself. Who is Nass?
So I've always lived my life. So I was born in Canterbury, Bankstown, and I lived there throughout my teenage years.
Yeah.
I went to De La Salle. I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasant experience. You know, obviously I had a Catholic education, and every Sunday we go to St. Charbel. You know, it's my Maronite heritage.
Yeah.
And I started to get interested in charity work at a very young age, and that's who I am. And I learned at a very young age that not everyone starts in the same starting line.
Yeah.
And unfortunately in Australia, there is a lot of people, that fall behind, they lag behind, and a lot of it has to do with socio-economical circumstances.
Yeah.
And I started my charity life at a very young age, and I knew the importance of the value of charity in a Christian, and more particularly a Catholic life.
Yeah.
So, who is Nass Aoun? Charity is a big thing for me, and I like to dedicate my life to helping other people, any way, shape or form. And it doesn't have to be a social economical thing. Charity, a big part of charity is giving your time to somebody, having a cup of coffee with somebody.
That's a really important thing that you said, that it's not just about money and volunteering, just economical assistance, but it's time. Time is a big thing.
Time is one thing you can never give back.
Yeah.
Right? Money you can get back. You can lose money, you can make money. Time, you can never get time back. So valuing someone with your time is the most expensive currency. And I learnt that at a very young age. And, I committed a lot of time into a lot of charity organisations. Once upon a time, I had my own charity.
Yeah.
And I did a fundraiser. It was called La Mere Charity at one stage. And I was one of the three directors.
Yeah.
I hosted a massive event. I did one event. And all the proceedings went to children suffering from congenital heart disease.
Congenital heart disease?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. And
major issue today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a raising issue.
Yeah.
The percentage keeps increasing, unfortunately, every single year. So I do bits and bobs all over the place. In 2004, I was awarded the Young Citizen of the Year.
Yeah.
A young Australian Citizen of the Year, which was issued from the Parramatta Council. And they recognised my work with helping the homeless. I was doing a lot of charity in the Parramatta region. Yeah. And it was excellent to
Major region,
absolutely.
There's a lot of work to do there.
If you go there on a Thursday, Friday or Saturday night, you can see a lot of them, in the park.
A lot of homeless people.
Especially around the train station as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
it's very, very visible there at the train station.
Yes.
Where it's like a colony of homeless people there at the station.
That's right.
You can't help but notice.
Yep.
When you walk through how many homeless people there are, and people that are asking for money don't necessarily look homeless.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
correct.
It's a great epidemic essentially.
That's
of
right.
Homelessness, and it's grown over the years.
Yep.
Living in that region myself, I've seen it over the years. It wasn't that bad, and for you to have done such great work in the city of Parramatta is tremendous within that region.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But you said something really important. Not everyone looks homeless.
Yeah.
Right. That's very, very George. That's what you
that-
said is you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Right. We have this imagery or this assumption. You know, a homeless man is someone pushing a shopping trolley or something. You know, a homeless person, you know, can look someone like you and I.
Yeah.
Right. And
And
yeah,
it's surprising when you see some of them.
absolutely. Well, you know, a lot of them, you know, that might have alcoholics or
Yeah.
a gambling problem or,
Yeah.
you know, kicked out of home for whatever reason.
Yeah, and they're dressed okay. They look
Absolutely.
like you and I. And,
That's right.
Oh, you're dressed better than you and I. And
Absolutely.
And they come up for food and you
Yep.
realise,
Yeah.
they're actually homeless. They're living in their car.
That's right.
Living in their van. And
That's right.
showering at public facilities.
Yeah.
It's, it really opens your eyes up.
I learn a lot, especially talking to homeless people.
Yeah.
I encourage every young person to do.
Yeah.
Listen to the stories,
Wow.
right? Listen to the mistakes they've made
Wow.
in their life. Listen and learn, right? And the most important thing is that they'll give you the tools of what not to do in your life, so you don't duplicate it in your own life. You know, gambling is bad. Be careful who you trust. Don't go into business with you know, friends or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Don't go into business with the wrong people, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, and just learning what went wrong, and don't try to, you know, do it in your own lives. Someone can give you the tools, right? But you have to apply it to your life.
Exactly.
You know, you can learn theories, you can learn all this stuff, but it's all about implementation.
Yeah.
Right? You have to implement in your life.
Exactly.
You can read as many books as you like, but if you don't implement it, right, what's the point? Yeah. Words are just words, right?
Yeah.
So you have to apply it into your life, and that's the most important thing. You got to apply stuff to your life.
It's really all about living. If you think about it, it's so easy to read, it's so easy to preach, it's so easy to even have this discussion on radio, but then really the push comes to shove is when you're at work, when you're in a tough situation, when you're so busy, a million things on your mind, and there's a poor person or somebody on the road that needs your help or could use your attention for a minute. You know, that's really where we live our Christian vocation, is to live that, is to take action. And it requires God's grace first. We need God's grace, without which we can't just rely on our own humanity to be prompted. But it requires God's grace, but we have to cooperate it through faith and reason to actually take some action. Yeah.
You know, I was reading something.
Yeah.
I was reading something over the weekend, and you know, prayer is important.
You're always reading things.
I'm always reading something. prayer is important.
Yeah.
Fasting is important.
Yeah.
But what is prayer and fasting if you don't treat others with kindness?
100%.
If we can't get the basics right,
Yeah.
right, what are we basically?
Yeah.
You know, in the Bible it teaches that God doesn't judge from your outer actions, but He judges by your inner thoughts.
Yeah.
If you hate a brother in your heart, you committed murder.
Yeah.
You committed murder. If you look at a woman to lust upon, you committed adultery. Right? It's the thought process, and having the ability to think clean, right, and having a genuine content to help all people and improve their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about giving people money. Right, we're always struggling here. Right, it's not about giving people money, but it's giving them time, advice, give them the tools, right, and how they can improve their life. You know, like I said, not everyone started in the same starting line.
Yeah.
You know, I had the privilege. I come from a beautiful family. You know, they gave me everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge the fact that I started ahead with
Yeah.
among my peers in school
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important to help a disadvantage, help the sick.
And it's so interesting because, and I want to go back to your thoughts about how else can we actually help if it's not just with money. And I mean, most people think charity is just a matter of going out, feeding the poor, and doing external things, joining an NGO organization. But really, as you said, charity starts with the basic things.
Correct.
How do you treat your siblings? How
Correct.
you treat your parents?
Absolutely.
How you and your wife work together? How much the day-to-day charity? I mean, we can be tempted, to treat people bad at work, but then when it's time to do the community van, we're all of a sudden in a great charity mode, and we feel charitable, we feel good about ourselves.
Right.
And this is, look, I have to make a confession, Nass. Over many years. You're reading my thoughts. Over many years, this is why I sort of didn't bother with charities. I always, for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I just pushed aside, especially when I started working full time, I pushed aside this whole notion of charity. Oh, the money doesn't go towards anyone. Why bother invest in it? Why bother? Why bother? Why bother give money to charity or volunteer anything? Why don't I just volunteer and save people's soul?
Yep.
On the spiritual end, but I didn't look at the corporal end, and
Yeah.
it's. But then these several years, engaging a little bit more, volunteering, and starting the best I can in my day-to-day circumstances to be better, every day a little bit with clients, with people that I deal with, people that might annoy you, or the little things, and then extending that out to maybe who needs help. Does a community van need help? Does somebody need help? It's changed my outlook over the last 2 years, and it was great that we had some conversations a while ago, and seeing your perspective and the work that you've done.
Absolutely.
In different organisations.
Yeah. So the word charity comes from a Latin term, right, which is caritas, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of organisations out there that do very good work.
Yeah. Caritas.
Correct. That's one of them. but there's a few others, and a lot of them focus on one thing, and some of them focus on maybe just the young males facing homelessness. Some of them focus on mental illness. It could be various reasons. A lot of them. There was one I won't name, but they focus on children from abused homes, and they run away from their homes and they become homeless.
Yeah.
And they provide shelter for those children. Right.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm very passionate about.
Wow.
And that's something that I believe that everyone should be going on board, because who doesn't love children, right? And it's giving them the opportunity to provide them a proper education.
Yeah.
And have shelter, to feel safe. That's the most important thing. It's to feel safe, right? That's what a home is. Mm-hmm. You can have a house, but you may not have a home, right? Safe, like being safe, is one of the most important things. And look, there is, like I said, you can get involved by participating in those organisations, and it's not always about donating money. Mm-hmm. You can donate your time, right? And my experience with some of the charities, some charities might have like thousands of members, but when it comes to, for example, feeding the homeless on a Monday night, there's only 5 people there.
Yeah.
I understand people. Yeah. I understand people are busy.
Yeah.
Right, but I believe that we should be pushing that agenda, and especially among the Catholic faith, and charities being one of the pillars of our tradition. Yeah, we have to be pushing that agenda, and it's extremely important to be helping with disadvantage. It's
really profound, and I just want to touch on your experience with different organisations, the ones let's say that focus on mental health as opposed to just homelessness. Would you say that the mental health organisations, there's many of them, many great organisations around Parramatta, internationally, nationally, that do work with mental health? I think mental health has really become an epidemic today. There's lots of mental health issues on the rise. Many people feel isolated. I mean, I think there was one country that mentioned that there's going to be a minister for loneliness.
Yep.
I don't know which country that was, but I'll have to look it up. How do you see the difference between the different types of charity, or different types of work between these different organisations and their focus? Is one more necessary than the other, do you think, from your experience with mental health as opposed to maybe homelessness? Yeah. Or is homelessness, mental health perhaps the underlying reason why people end up homeless, on the road, or develop an alcohol issue? What have you seen from your experience? I just want get your thoughts on that.
It's a very good question, and I do believe that there is some level of correlation between the two.
Yeah,
they are directly related. Yeah, but not all the time. Yeah, there is circumstances where mental health may not be the issue because of a person's homelessness. Yeah, but I was involved in a certain organisation that focused on young men's health. Yeah. And it was extremely sad to see a lot of these young men, what they have to go through in a mental, like in a daily basis, and more particularly in a mental state, right? Yeah. And especially when an organisation lacks funding, and you have very dedicated people that try their absolute best to help these people just have an average life, just a normal life. So I do think they are somewhat correlated, but however, not all the time.
Yeah.
And I do believe, seeking in professional help or medical help as well when it comes to mental health as well, because sometimes whatever you may do, it may not do any positive good whatsoever. Sometimes you can have a cup of coffee with someone, it can change this person's life.
Wow.
But I've seen people who've been struggling for years and years and years, and to that extent, you just need professional help.
Yeah, and yeah, I used to be tempted in the past to think, oh well, all this homelessness, the underlying issue is get a job, or
Correct.
employment,
100%.
fix the issues there. We shouldn't be giving them money because I had that very capitalistic
Agenda.
Really, we have to fix unemployment, unemployment. And all the other underlying issues, and then we'll get them off the street. But, going out there myself, and volunteering now, with a van and helping now with a mental health organisation, you really, and you speak to people, you have those conversations, it changes you. And you see it's more than just, tick, 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 tick. There's
100%.
Not everyone's as fortunate as, we are,
That's
growing
right.
up in this country. Having parents that are a bit more established in this country than someone who's a migrant, for example, has just come here, got fired, they don't have savings, they got a child, they're trying to make it, and they're on a housing
That's right.
waiting list until they get there. You're homeless till further due.
Everyone has a story.
For further notice, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And look, and that could contribute to mental health issues,
That's right.
depression, it's a whole situation there. And yeah, it really changes you. Life is not that simple. It's not black and white. It's not a list of things you got to fix and it's just all fixed. You have to meet the people where they're at. And where have you found your experience? Does mental health, homelessness, the big diseases, tackling the big diseases and research and trying to fund and get behind research, what drives you and what inspires you the most? What have you enjoyed the most in your work through different charities and NGOs?
What I enjoy the most is seeing a person transform.
Yeah.
I love seeing a person succeed.
Yeah.
The way I think of it is that if someone succeeds, I succeed myself.
Yeah.
Right? I see a part of myself with, everybody.
That's great.
And
yeah.
that's how I see.
Yeah.
It's all about passing the light
Yeah.
onto someone else.
Yeah.
And as a Catholic, I do believe it's one of the pillars of our faith.
Yeah.
We have to provide charity.
Yeah.
And that the most satisfying thing for me is giving my time and giving, the resources that I can give to certain people.
Yeah.
It may be through charities, it may be through organisations, or it can be just by myself on my own accord.
Yeah.
And just seeing a positive change.
Yeah.
In people, not the length of my cable toe, basically. As they say, it's about doing the best as you can to help these people.
Yeah.
And these people may be suffering from homelessness, or people suffering from mental state. And again, people who are suffering from mental state, it's not necessarily a person who has a disease or anything. Sometimes a cup of coffee changes everything.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone has a unique story.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everyone is, if you look at depression, people are depressed for various reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them is biological, and you can't basically change that. It's DNA.
Yeah.
But some people, they are depressed over maybe after divorce.
Exactly.
Or after a particular thing
life
happened.
circumstances,
They might lose their house because of gambling or whatever that may be.
Yeah, and then it all trickles, where somebody who's homeless, nobody's probably spoken to them for 3 weeks.
Correct.
For more than an hour, but having a cup of coffee with them or having that conversation. Well, I was really moved by, volunteering around the streets at Parramatta occasionally, usually on a monthly basis, is having that one conversation with the homeless man that I met, and we all gathered around him, and we gave him some stuff, and here's a hot, hot cup of chocolate, cup of hot chocolate. I wasn't going to say cocoa.
Nah, definitely not.
That's American.
That's American.
Hot cup of hot chocolate.
We're Aussies here.
And We have mockers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with skim milk.
I wasn't going to say he asked for a decaf.
No, definitely not.
And oat milk.
Yeah.
But
go to a
having that
milk.
conversation, and he was so appreciative. People actually sat down, spoke with him. It's like, we brought some energy back, some
That's
soul
right.
back into him.
That's right.
And it's great. And you leave him, with, God bless you. And
Yep.
I
The most interesting conversation I had with someone at Parramatta is that he was sleeping in the street.
Yeah.
All right. One of the smartest people I've ever met.
Really?
Honest to God. One of the smartest people. He would have been about 35.
Yeah.
He was living in the street at that time for 2 weeks. Very, very smart. And we had a conversation and we spoke about, basically his condition. Like, why are you here, basically? What happened to him? What's your story? He lost all his money in crypto.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
This does not count as financial advice.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No one wants to
No
do that.
medical advice.
No one wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
But that's what happened. And,
Wow.
it was just, he thought, he would be doing A, B, C, and D, and lost all his money.
Wow.
And, he missed one payment after the other, and he was on the street. And, it's, like I said, everyone has a story. It doesn't always have to be mental health, but it can just be purely financial.
Yeah.
So, that was the most interesting conversation I had. And, I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
I often think about him.
Yeah.
He's not there anymore. So,
That's good. There's some good signs.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do people ever get off from your experience? I haven't been doing this long enough, but from your experience, do people get off the road? Have you seen people get off the road?
I do.
And change their lives? Is
I
there
have.
enough program, enough support to get these people off the road as well?
There is. There's a
Yeah.
lot of, like I said, with the tools, right? A lot of these organisations and charities give you the tools.
Yeah.
Give the people the tools. It's just up to, it's not always, right? Not always, but for the lucky ones, they can use those tools and utilise it.
Yep.
Right? And when I say utilise it, they can utilise it in their own lives. And they can
Put it into action.
Put it into action, they can progress, step by step.
Yeah. And
One
get
short
out of
step,
it.
one short step, one short step. And
Yeah.
they eventually lead somewhere.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of these organisations, like I do love what they do, right? They do provide a lot of assistance and then resources as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how us taking action can actually help us in return. How often we think we're helping people. I remember in 2014 when I did a 2-month mission to the Philippines, we built about 35 homes.
Wow.
In an island called Bantayan Island, which was off the mainland of Cebu. It was destroyed by Typhoon Yelena.
Yep.
And we were there for a while, and really, a lot of the locals actually skilled carpenters. So we thought we're going there to build homes and everything, but it was about boosting their morale, that some people came from America, Australia, Brazil.
Yep.
All of us teamed together, an American organization. And we went and we came and they saw us. It's like, we giving them some life again, some hope again.
Reunited.
We reignited their energies. They saw us, and it was, in the first week, it was me sort of organising construction material, first couple of days. But we did a fair bit of work to get them off drinking and smoking and playing with the boys to, hey, come and help us. Come help us. And then we got all the village men together and they were building and everybody was working together. It was a great experience, but we helped them, but in turn, they helped us because a lot of these people are very poor. They're fishermen. They have nothing. Their whole life is not even the size of this studio. They're living there with their families in a cubby house, and yet they're happy. They're a lot more at peace than a lot of us from the West were at the time. We're worried about, what we're going to do, where we're going to work, what am I going to buy, what property am I going to buy, and whether this girl or guy likes me. I was replying back to my text messages, every 15 minutes.
He said this about me, and she said this about me. And
that just all faded away. You're on this island, you can't get any poorer, and these people are a lot happier. So they helped us in return. That was my experience. But I want you to speak about, from your experience doing it in multiple charities and as former City of Parramatta young, one of the Young Citizens Award recipients. How does it change you in return with all the work that you do personally? How does it help you rather than just helping those that you're trying to assist?
Just taking a bit of a step back,
Yeah.
and I think this relates to my experience when I was in Africa.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this. I
know this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I spent some. So I spent
But our listeners may not know
absolutely.
this.
So I spent a few months in Africa, and more particularly Zimbabwe.
Wow.
And I was doing a few things in Zimbabwe. I was starting a business at the time as well, but I was doing a lot of charities as well, and just seeing, like you mentioned, right, just seeing how little they have, but yet so happy.
Yeah.
Right? The fellowship, and this relates to the Filipino culture as well, right? Because fellowship is massive in the Philippines and the Filipino culture, same as the Africans, right? They have each other. And every Sunday they go to church. And it's like they wear the best clothes they have in the closet.
Yeah.
You know, with the Sunday clothes and everything. And they go to church. And they just sing and dance and pray. And, you know, it's this amazing experience that I had. But they have nothing. You know, I went to the poorest places in Zimbabwe. I went to the poorest places in Zambia. Right? Like about an hour's drive from Lusaka. Right? And it was the biggest eye-opener for me. And what I learned, going back to your question, is, you know, you helping me assist them. But what they taught me in return is happiness. You know, there's no need to be stressed all the time. There's no need to care what other people think about you.
Yeah.
There's no care.
Massive issue.
Absolutely. And
Massive issue.
But that's a very big issue because it limits people's progression. Right, it limits people's capability of achieving their excel or the maximized outcomes. Right, someone can achieve because they care about what their parents think of them, or what they care about what friends think about them, or partner thinks. At the end of the day, who cares what anyone thinks? Right, if you know in your heart that what you're doing is good, right, and you know you're not hurting anybody, and obviously it's in line with your faith, which is the most important thing. Let God judge. God judges. And being truly happy, right? That's what I learned when I was in Africa. And when I came back to Australia, I was a different person. A completely different person.
Wow.
Because, you know, before I left to Africa, it's always about what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step?
we all like
How can
that.
I make money? How can I do this? Well, you know,
what's next? What's next?
What's next? What's next?
This quarter, that quarter,
Absolutely.
this week,
That's
this
right.
month.
Like we're so concerned about, you know, the past and so fearful for the future, we don't live in the present.
Honestly, that's a major issue.
Yeah, we don't live in the
We're
present.
all guilty of it, including myself.
Tomorrow's not promised. You know, there is no tomorrow, right? So we have to live in the present. And this is my experience in Africa, what you taught me. You got to live in the present.
Yeah.
Right? You have to live in the moment, capture every moment. And it was just an extraordinary experience. And I haven't been back. I would love to go back. And yeah, I think when I go back, I'll see it in a different lens.
Yeah.
As well, you know, I'm matured. You know, I've learned a lot. You know, in the So I went there when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So just sort of out for when I finished uni.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a time in my life as well. You know, I was in the Philippines as well, doing projects there. You haven't really entered the real world to practically apply these principles. You can go Australia, get busy, you know, with starting a career and forget about all that. But the lessons stay with you. And I think if we revisit these lessons that we learnt from these experiences in our day-to-day, which I do, you know, by regularly volunteering, helps me to relive, you know, that the importance of, you know, what I learnt in the Philippines, from the poorest of the poorest, and what you learnt in Africa can help us to, because we can get astray as humans very, very, very easily. We live in such a fast-paced culture, so socially media driven. What's next? Consumerism. It's interesting when you drive out, you know, places like Canberra, for example. You love Canberra as well.
I love Canberra.
I love Canberra too.
I love Canberra.
Yeah. something not many people like Canberra, but I love Canberra.
Because I think as we also as well, there is
Yeah.
a different aspect to that because I think we connect more with nature
Yeah.
as well, which is a big thing as human beings.
Yes.
And going to Africa, right? It's different. It's not densely populated. There's
Yeah.
no high-rise buildings. You just connect with nature.
Yeah.
Right, as human beings, that's where our ancestry comes from, right? It's just you have to be grounded with
Yeah.
nature. You know, I know you love Tasmania as well, so it's just the nature. It's just that stress-free environment.
Yeah.
You know, it's very different to driving, down the M5 every single day,
Exactly.
right? People
Yes.
honking at you, The
Exactly,
light just turns
yeah.
green. There's
Exactly.
people beeping. Brother, it just turned green like 3 seconds ago. It's not going to make a difference. But again, it's just being grounded with, with nature, which is very, very important as well.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me, right, is why I do what I do, is I have this absolute fascination with monasticism.
Mm-hmm.
I love monasticism,
Yeah.
right? I try to lead by example by using monastic ideas.
Yeah.
And more particularly when I say monasticism, I mean, I like taking the route of the Desert Fathers.
The Desert Fathers, yep.
I love the Desert Fathers.
Amazing.
Right, so-
amazing. Can be confronting to read, but amazing.
It's,
life-changing.
Read the book, The Sayings of the Desert Fathers,
Yeah.
right?
The book, The Sayings of the Desert Fathers.
Correct. I cannot recommend that book
Yeah.
enough. That book changed my life.
Highly recommend it. Get your copy of The Sayings of the Desert Fathers.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my whole perspective of life. And I read it when I came back from Africa.
Yeah.
So just a bit of a
Well, that was in Africa, the Desert Fathers, just north.
100%.
In Egypt.
100%. I couldn't agree. It was the same continent, right? So
Yeah.
I again just a brief recap, right? So when Jesus ascended into heaven, a lot of his followers scattered, right? There was a state of confusion. What do we do now, sort of thing. So I believe it was from, I think after 70 AD and about 250 AD.
Yeah.
A lot of his followers went to the caves of Syria, Palestine, and Egypt.
Yeah.
Right, and they became hermits, as we know them today as hermits.
Yeah.
And they were the foundation of the Coptic faith.
Yeah.
Right, like for example, Saint Mark.
Yeah. From Egypt, yeah.
From Egypt.
Yeah.
So that's when they sort of started the whole idea of the Desert Fathers.
Yeah.
Which is very different to the
The
Western.
birth of
Western fathers.
monasticism, essentially, came from the East.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%. And it's the whole idea of prayer. It's the whole idea of fasting, right? Which is fundamental when it comes to the Desert Fathers as
Yeah.
well. It's very, very a strong and powerful read. And charity is very big as well, going back to charity. So yeah, there's a lot of things that the saying of the Desert Fathers, they sort of imply what's important and what you should do, right? At the end of the day, it's all about salvation, right? We're all after salvation. We all want to be saved. And it talks about, it's basically a set of instructions, right? What we have to do to seek salvation.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most powerful books I've ever read.
Yeah.
And again, I can't stress enough, God judges from our outer actions, but he also judges in inner thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the cleansing of the thought. It's the purification of the thought as well. You can't always be money driven.
Exactly.
You
yeah.
can't always be,
Yeah.
oh, this guy said this about me. I'm going to go and get him. I want revenge. What
Yeah.
for? Let it go. Just let it go. Let God judge.
Yeah. We really have to. What I'm more and more conscious of these last 2 years is you really have to control your mind. You really have to put yourself in a good mindset, good frame of mind. The word becomes flesh. What's up here?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What you feed up
It's
here.
the idea.
Yeah, can become flesh. So if you don't purify your mind, your interior life, eventually it can take flesh.
That's right. Again, in the beginning was the word, right? It was just a word,
Yeah,
right? The beginning was a word. It's very powerful.
yeah,
It's extremely powerful. So, again, it's having the whole, doing things with an idea in mind.
yeah,
Having, it's a bit like start the journey with the end in mind.
yeah. That's right.
It's a bit, it comes back to that quote, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's quite interesting and it's very good. Desert Fathers is a little bit different to the Western monasticism,
yeah.
right?
The
Not
rule
just-
of
not-
the rule of Saint Benedict,
Oh,
and
mate, that's another topic, right?
which they adopted from the East. The East
Correct.
gave birth to monasticism.
Correct. But I do love the Benedict prayers, but
Yeah.
the Benedict prayers are very good.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, they say it's one of the strongest prayers during exorcism, but that's another story for
It
another
is,
day.
yeah. It is the Benedictine medal.
Correct.
Yeah. I have them on all four corners of my place.
Oh, do you? Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the I don't know if it's a custom, but it's a habit that a lot of exorcists recommend is to
Yes.
obviously get your Benedictine medals
That's right.
exercised first. They're
Yep.
not validly exercised unless they're exercised by a priest.
That's right.
Using the specific prayer.
Yep.
Once they're exercised, a tradition is of all four corners of your house, bury the actual medals on the four corners. It creates like a shield
That's right.
from the demonic. There's people who've reported interesting stories where they've had issues happening in their street, and then they plant Benedictine medals on the
Yeah.
four corners of their street, and
Yeah.
everything goes back to normal.
Yeah.
No more trouble, no more misfortune.
There's a book called The Rule of St. Benedict.
Yes.
Yeah.
Highly recommend our listeners get a copy of the Rule of St. Benedict.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that many years ago.
But the Desert Fathers are very interesting. You know, just the interior struggle is something which I enjoyed reading with the Desert Fathers. How they went into the desert not just to pray, but to face themselves.
Oh,
That's powerful.
I mean,
That's next level.
Look, it's sort of facing themselves, but it also exposes themselves.
Exposing, yeah.
You're exposing yourself,
Yeah.
right? And there is, you know,
You're in a desert. You think
correct.
about it.
Yeah.
You're in this desert, no one there,
yeah,
months upon
mate.
months upon
It's-
months, no one to talk to,
that's right.
just you and your thoughts.
I'll give
no
you-
iPhone, no
That's right.
Instagram.
That's right. I'll give you I haven't read it for a while,
Yeah.
but from memory, there were some stories, right,
Yeah.
where they called him Abba, right, so father.
Yeah.
In Arabic we say Abuna. Where in the middle of the night, you know, there would be like a naked lady that would appear,
Yeah,
you know, at the entrance of a cave.
yeah,
And like, who are you, sort of thing. But it's actually the devil, right? It's
Yeah.
trying to make them fall into temptation,
yeah.
right? Lust, right?
Wow.
They have to kill lust. Lust is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
You know, not lust in more of a sexual thing, but it's also money,
yeah,
right? We have a lust for money,
Yeah.
you know, lust for food, lust for anything. So it's the whole idea of lust,
yeah,
right? And also as well, and I wish I remember the name. There was an Abba that was walking, and sort of his followers were behind him, right? And
I think it was Macarius.
could be
Possibly Macarius, yeah.
and the followers will creep right next to him and say, "Why is the sky blue? And why is the grass green?" And you know, he was like, he will answer the question, and he was like, "But please, you know, go back following me."
Yeah.
And they said, "Why? Are you better than us? Why do we have to follow you?" He says, "Because I don't want to say something that I'll regret."
Yeah.
So the whole idea of
Wow.
it is that we have to be careful what we say.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You put the letter S in front of words, become
Yes.
swords, right? Because swords stab, right? So words hurt.
yeah,
We have to be very cautious what we say. Again, the beginning was the word,
yeah,
right? It was a word.
Yeah.
Again, we
Amen.
have to be very careful what we say. And
Yeah.
most important thing, we have to care about what we say about other people.
yeah.
That
Gossip is another.
God removes people from your life because he heard conversations that you never heard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know, sometimes you say, "Why did this guy stop talking to me? Why all of a sudden this group of people changed?" Sometimes it's just God doing his job.
yeah.
You know, they said something bad about you. God heard about him. He removed them intentionally
Wow.
from your life.
Wow.
Right?
God's
It's
providence.
not always personal. It's not always personal. You know, it doesn't mean you did something wrong.
Yeah,
Just let the go with the flow.
yeah,
And sometimes God's divine intervention is taking place.
yeah,
Some people are there for a reason. Some people are there for a season.
yeah.
Right? In this life, you get three type of friends. Right? It's like the first one is basically leaves on a tree.
Yeah,
Every season comes, every season goes, leaves come and go,
Yeah.
friends come and go.
Yeah.
Right? The second type of friend is like branches on a tree.
Yeah.
They look like they're going to be there for a
Yeah.
while, right?
That's a branch.
But it's just a branch. It
Can
falls.
break off,
It
yeah.
can break off. And those are the most, those are the most worrisome friends.
Yeah,
Right? Friends that you think they got your back, but they're not there
yeah.
when you really need them, right?
Yeah.
And the third type of friends are they're roots on the tree.
Roots.
Family,
Yes.
God, right? Maybe one or two friends that you've known for a while. You know, that they're not going anywhere.
And that's
They
the
got your
friendship
back.
we want to strive towards is genuine, authentic friendship. And rooted through the roots. Obviously, don't get your cousin as a tree lopper to
Absolutely.
tree lop the roots.
We don't wanna
but-
do that.
But, like the cedars of Lebanon, the roots keep going
That's
down.
exactly right.
Apparently, I was reading, it's one of the only trees that the roots just go straight into, it keeps growing straight down rather than spreading out.
That's right.
So you can never really kill a cedar.
That's right.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's like a bit like a phoenix, right?
So
Yeah.
that's the friendship you're saying we
100%.
need to strive towards.
And again, finding friends that can walk side by you in faith
yeah,
are one of the best friends you'll ever
Yeah.
have. Friends that know, they fear judgment, they
Yeah.
fear God,
Yeah.
and they know that their actions has a consequence.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the best friends that you can have.
absolutely.
Right? Because they know that for the most part of it, right, the actions are very pure. Right? And those are the friends that I want to have by my side.
Exactly.
And those are the friends that I do charity with. Those are the type of people that I met when I was in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
God-fearing people.
I was waiting to ask you how you're linking this towards charity, but then you just hit the nail on the head.
That's exactly what it is, right?
Because really, the charity, as we started the episode with, is really your day-to-day life, that genuineness. Your charity
It's a
begins
lifestyle.
by how, like I walked into this studio and I treated John, who's...
Yeah.
there he is, he's nodding his head, It's the small things. It's how you treat a colleague, or when something goes wrong. That's where the charity starts.
100%. Doesn't matter how big or small, right?
Because often we can try and feed our own ego and
That's correct.
zealousness. Oh, I'm doing charity work. I'm helping the poor.
Pride is a sin.
Pride. There you go. There you go.
Pride is a
Pride
sin.
can creep in. Where we do it, and for a while that's why I was skeptical about even doing anything, getting involved. But that's why having a good spiritual life, and as you said, the Desert Fathers are a great example. To examine our intentions, and always they like a spiritual life as they did was always it's a constant battle throughout our lives. Like the naked woman appeared to them, loaves of bread and fish appeared to them. Every day is a spiritual battle. If we keep fighting the battle, we can have purify our intentions. Live charity in the day-to-day, and also in the corporal sense, the corporal works of mercy. Go out and actually do some hard, solid organizational charity.
That's exactly right.
It's a good progression, I think.
Absolutely.
Spiritual, then it overflows into, hey, day-to-day life, I'm actually being the best that I can.
100%.
And then I have some spare time, I can overflow organizationally.
Absolutely. And don't, like you said, it's the small things.
Yeah.
Saying good morning, putting a smile on your face,
Yeah.
and have a positive attitude.
Yeah.
Don't talk bad about anybody, sort of thing. Because I know in the workplaces can get very toxic.
Yeah.
I worked, in the corporate world for a while.
Yeah.
When I came back from Africa.
Yeah.
It can be very toxic.
Yeah.
What do you expect? It's a hierarchy system. Everyone wants to go to the top.
Exactly.
And it's always got to be at the expense of that stepping someone's heads, right?
Yeah.
There's a one position, but 13 people applied for it. Like, that's the world that we live in.
Yeah.
That's a very corporate structure.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, we
right?
always want the pay increase.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who does it? Right? So
Wow.
it is hard. It is hard to implement those teachings of the Desert Fathers in the corporate world. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's difficult.
Yeah. But they can be applicable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely can be applicable. The devil attacks the faithful, right? So, things may seem attractive, but at the end of the day, you have faith. You have to make the right decision.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's all about within.
Yeah.
And again, you have to do it in accordance to your Catholic faith. That's the most important thing.
Let's go into the 3 practical tools. I'm sure you've inspired everybody here tonight with, the order of growing our spiritual life, treating others well, and different examples of how actual practical charity can help us. But how can people take action in this area, do you think? How can people volunteer? What do you see are 3 good practical tools that we can take to implement this in our day-to-day lives and start maybe, depending where anybody's at, take up charity and do a bit more almsgiving to change other people's lives and in turn ourselves at the same time?
There's a lot of tools you can implement. The first one that I would say is what we spoke about earlier during this podcast. You don't have to give money.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone's tight on money now.
Everyone's
Cost of living.
but when you think charity, people just assume money.
Yeah.
People assume donations.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Charity, donations, right? It's not always
Direct
donations.
debit.
Direct debit,
It's always the
exactly.
direct debit
I know
setup.
some CEO is hiding in the Canary Islands, with his massive admin fee, and all my money is going to CEO's pocket. No, always, not all the time. Like,
That's what I used to think. That's why I never gave
that's what a lot of people think.
money for a while.
Absolutely, right? But again, charity, my first tool, I would say, to answer your question, the first one is time. Just give your time. That's all you need to do. Like those vans, like you don't even have to do anything. Just go there, you just rock up, you go to the van, grab the food, grab the bags, and you give it to the homeless person. Like
Yeah.
you
Make
are
a coffee,
you're literally just
pour a coffee.
The platform is provided.
Yeah.
You're just the middleman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But it's just time. You just need time. Right?
And we'll talk about some organisations after the tools as well. Just
Correct.
spit out some great
Yeah.
organisations around Sydney.
So I would say, again, the first tool is
Yep.
is understanding that the concept of time is very important when it comes to charity.
Yeah. Because time is money. And it saves them money. It creates resources. It means efficiency increases
Correct.
as well. And we
Correct.
can reach more people. There's
100%.
more resources. Yeah. Whatever you can
100%.
volunteer. If you're a mechanic, for example, with the van that I volunteer with, they needed to service it. So my mechanic is a good Catholic, very nice guy. I sent him up there. He didn't charge him. And he also donated on top.
Did you check your brake pads?
I'm sure it's compliant by the New South Wales RMS if they're listening. All things are in accordance with the RMS specifications. Big shout out to the RMS.
Absolutely.
No, but such a generous mechanic. He gave his time. It's something like that. He gave his time. Probably 30 minutes of servicing.
That's right.
Doing what he needs to do, and
Yep.
yeah, but time.
The second tool,
Yep.
to answer your
Number
question.
two.
Number two, act faithfully. Right? Faithfully is extremely important. Do it not because you have to, do it because you want to. Okay? Don't go there just to show face.
Yeah,
Right? Don't go there because your friends are going.
you're rostered on.
Don't go there to take a social media photo.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't go, oh my God, look what I'm doing,
Yeah.
on TikTok, Instagram, whatever
Yeah.
what social media is, right? But again, do it because you want to. Put your phone off. Just put it off.
Yeah.
Put it in your pocket. Put it in the car. Leave it in
Yeah,
the car, right?
yeah.
So do it because you want to. Because at the end of the day, it's a relationship between you and God,
Yeah.
right? You do it because you love doing it.
Yeah.
If you don't love it, learn to love it.
Wow. Learn to love
Learn
it.
to love it.
Wow. That's an important thing. Often people just wait for motivation.
No need to.
What do you think about that? We have
Mate.
to wait to be motivated.
When am I motivated to go to the gym? Right? Never. But once I'm there,
Very little.
I'm there. I'm not going back home.
Once you
I'll
go
do something.
3 weeks, you're a bit fitter, you're a bit fitter, you're a bit fitter.
Once you're at the gym, you train. Doesn't
That's
matter
it.
how big, how small, you train.
Yeah.
At least you start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
And you get better and better.
Zechlock charity. Again, going back to my third point. Charity is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle,
Yeah.
and it's very
Wow.
important. Okay, don't treat it as a chore, because once it becomes a chore,
Yeah.
right, you lack it, you don't want to do it, you can't be bothered, and all this stuff. I just do it next week, next month, whatever. Learn to embed it as a lifestyle. Exactly, going again like gym and fitness.
It
It's a
is
lifestyle.
charity, right? It's love.
Well, absolutely,
It's a life.
100%. Again, it's a pillar of our faith.
Yeah.
Charity, right? We learn, embed it in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Learn to love it.
Yeah.
And act faithfully.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the 3 tools, and that's very important. And those 3 tools enable me to love what I do, which is, help the disadvantaged, help the sick.
Yeah. And that overflows to your involvement in certain organizations.
Absolutely.
That you're more qualified with.
100%.
And different people might find, they want to focus on mental health. I've had
Correct.
mental health issues with members of their family, and they can relate to people and help people that way. Some people have had gone through certain diseases, however it plays out but these are 3 amazing practical tools to get started, whichever area of charity.
It's not about what I can get from it. Right? It's about
okay.
what you can give.
What you can give.
Correct. What,
You can add it to your resume.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
But we're not doing it for the resume. We're doing it. What can I give?
What can I give?
It's love, charity,
it's not about what I can
caritas.
get. It's not about what I can get. In a materialistic sense, that is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In a materialistic sense.
Yeah.
Because you do get a lot,
Yeah.
right?
It's not the same as, hey, it will help me to learn. You know, that you'll learn in return, naturally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the biggest eye-opener when you have these conversations with certain people. It's you know, they're not as, you know, what the media wants to make you to think.
Yeah,
That
sure.
They can't talk, they're dumb, they're stupid. Nothing like that. There are smart people on the streets.
Wow.
But some of them are unlucky.
They're just, yeah.
Just unlucky. It's just the luck in the draw.
Yeah.
In some cases, that is. Not all cases. Some cases. I make that very clear.
Some famous,
Yeah.
a lot of famous people were homeless for
Correct.
a while. Cole Sandilands,
Correct?
he was homeless for a little bit, but look, you know, that experience there, he came out of it and one of
Yep.
the most successful radio producers.
Everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story.
It's just about having time to listen to them.
What are some organisations, a good organisation that we can spit out? There's, you know, Beyond Blue for
For mental health.
mental health.
I
There's,
I like
Vinnie's as well.
Vinnie's is great. I
Yeah.
love Black Dog Institute.
Oh, Black Dog, yeah, for the
They're-
Depression
They're
Institute.
doing fantastic work.
Yeah,
Fantastic work.
yeah.
I really like what they're doing.
I've heard great
You know,
great
Beyond,
things.
Beyond
from
Blue is great as well.
friends who are psychologists and yeah,
You know, we're in a time right now where, you know, a lot of people are suffering from depression,
Mm-hmm.
especially young men.
yeah,
And, you know, the call for action
Yeah.
is enormous.
yeah,
I really like what they're doing. Also, the Automata,
yeah. They have a great presence of
great
kitchens
presence, especially in Parramatta.
and, yeah,
All right, with the van, the help they do, and I got involved in a couple of months there,
yeah,
leading up, you know, to my Young Citizen of the Year award. Yeah, it's extraordinary. There's a lot to name, but
Yeah.
that's just a few, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but definitely these practical tools will help guide many people, including myself. And then after, you know, we work on ourselves and that overflow happens, you may look at organisations that you can help and support, and yeah, we need to take action.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you, Nass, for being with me here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We can talk all night, but
We can.
there's so much to
We
unpack.
can.
But we'll definitely have you on again here on the show.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
don't forget to tune in to the Catholic Toolbox via the podcast. Go to thecatholictoolboxshow.com. That is thecatholictoolboxshow.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen in. So thank you for tuning in to the show. I'm your host and founder, George Manassa. Until next week, God bless, take care, and take action.
In this era of grave spiritual crisis, it is not enough to simply know about your Catholic faith. That is why we need a Catholic Toolbox to equip us with the practical skills necessary to live our Catholic faith to reach our ultimate goal, which is heaven for all eternity. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the Catholic Toolbox as we hand you the tools to go forth, live the faith, and change our modern world today. Live on the Voice of Charity.